Hold on, we can't go straight to work. But I got to say, when we do go to work, it's going to be a lot of fun because, Willie, I'm going to get to the Yankees in a second.
Oh, thanks.
But these Republicans, this is the worst thing ever. When Donald Trump in 2017 said, we must raise the debt ceiling, what did he say? He said, this is a very, very sacred thing in our country, debt ceiling. We can never play with it. And they not only raised the debt ceiling, Republicans under Trump in 2017, 2018, and 2019, and they not only did it without an actual debt limit, they kept it open-ended so they could say, hey, Don, spend as much money as you would like, which was unusual. They didn't even put a limit on it because they wanted to spend so much money. It's incredible. Three times, even as the national debt soared to record levels, Willie. Not only that, get this. And then when I say get this, TJ, now that's when you come to me.
Okay.
Get this. Ready? Okay, take it. 3, 2, 1, go. Go to Joe.
Looks good, Joe.
This, Willie. Come on, wake up, TJ. They actually attached spending bills. Is everybody following me here? I know with the smooth directing, it's much easier. They actually attached spending bills to raising the debt limit. So they said, not only are we going to raise the debt ceiling to just like where there's actually no ceiling, and not only are we not going to attach cuts to it, but we Republicans who are running this place, we're going to attach billion-dollar spending bills to the debt ceiling increase. I mean, the hypocrisy here, it's just, there has to be, I don't know, super-duper califragilistic hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy squared here for these Republicans who suddenly are so shocked and stunned that we're actually having to pay for all the spending and tax cuts that they larded onto the budget back from 2017 through 2021, never paying for any of the tax cuts, never paying for any of the spending.
Yeah, over 4 years of Donald Trump, nearly $8 trillion was added to the deficit, largely because of those tax cuts you're talking about. And here, Republicans are truly, in a theatrical way, setting their hair on fire because there might be some addition to money added to SNAP, for example, or to benefits for people in this country. And Kevin McCarthy has made the point, guys, I cut more than $1 trillion, $1.5 trillion over a decade out of the budget. This is a good deal that we negotiated. So I guess the question is this all signaling to the base? Are the people that you're talking about who are pounding the lectern and saying, this is the worst bill I've ever seen? One congressman said, this is a career-defining vote. If you vote for this, the Republic will never be the same, and on and on and on. Suddenly finding religion on the debt now that Joe Biden is in office. Is that all just a signal to the base? I know it's going to pass, so I can afford to scream and yell about it as it makes its way, and we don't default as a nation.
It is all virtue signaling because, Maura, they did this in 2017. They did it in 2018. They did it in 2019. And by the way, those first 2 years, they ran the House, they ran the Senate, they ran the White House. It's just like when they ran the House, they ran the Senate, they ran the White House. Guess what they said? We can't build a wall. A wall won't do any good. You can climb under a wall. You can climb over the wall. The wall, Lindsey Graham, John Cornyn, I can go down the list. They had the votes. And none of them wanted to build Donald Trump's wall because they said when they actually had the power, it's a stupid idea. Also, when they had the power, they said it's a stupid idea to hold America hostage. And I know you're getting nervous right now because you're afraid that TJ's going to go to a chopper shot. But don't worry, he's still on you. But again, the hypocrisy is crazy. And if you're Kevin McCarthy, you're like, wait a second, guys, I voted with you guys to raise the debt ceiling 3 times when we actually added spending. And now you're saying this is the end of the Republic? Don't get it.
Well, one of the strange things about this, it is totally insane, Joe, is that it's clear that there are some people who came to Washington not to run government, but actually to break it. And so, it's hard to understand why else you would hold the country hostage over something like the debt ceiling, which is essential to the functioning of our government. I know it's wonky. I know it's complicated, but this just should not be a political football. We need the government to continue to run. Kevin McCarthy understands this. And there are Republicans who do understand this. Obviously, the White House does as well. So we shouldn't have even had to see a negotiation like this. This should have just happened as a course of doing business. The other thing that you see here is the true agenda of the Republican Party at the moment. This refusal to roll back the Trump tax cuts from 2017 that added $1.8 trillion to the budget through 2029, the refusal to eliminate the carried interest loophole, which of course is just a loophole for hedge fund managers, for the wealthy. And so the question becomes, what is this actually doing for everyday Americans, that Republican agenda? I mean, fortunately here, many of the benefits that are relied upon by working class Americans, including SNAP, as you mentioned, were largely preserved. And this deal is expected to add about 50,000 people, I think, to nutrition, to the nutrition rolls so that people can get food that they need. So that's a win.
Mika, again, the very people who are screaming, right now about this debt ceiling being raised are with cuts, with significant cuts, are the very people, again, who went along with Donald Trump 3 times. 3 times. And even those who voted against it, the few that voted against it weren't screaming, holding press conferences saying it's the end of the republic like they are now. It's total nonsense. They sat there quietly, including the Freedom Caucus. I remember talking to Mark Meadows, going to him, I think in 2017, going, dude, you guys are spending too much money. Instead of doing all of your stupid virtue signaling, you need to start focusing on spending. I told Meadows this twice when we were having lunch at the Capitol. I said, you have got to use your position to actually curb spending in Washington, D.C. It's out of control. And here's the thing you got to worry about. I told him, you got to worry about what happens when Republicans are in power, because then, as it happened under George W. Bush, the spending's out of control, because the Democrats love spending too. So if the Republicans want to spend, Democrats aren't going to stop them, right? I said, so it's important for you guys to do what we did when we were there. We stopped our own Republican brothers and sisters from spending too much. Balance the budget 4 years in a row. But do you think he listened? No, he didn't listen. Not only did he not listen, they were led by a guy who said, I don't know if you guys heard this quote before, this is Donald Trump. And he said that the debt ceiling is a sacred element of our country. Dog, cat, horse, person, mule. That's a very, very sacred thing in our country, debt ceiling. By the way, let's just, first of all, I just want to, if we could, let's break up that sentence. That's a very sacred thing in our country, debt ceiling. We can never play with it. So I would have to assume we're in great shape. That's Donald Trump, the man who, along with his Republicans in the House and the Senate, they're being so self-righteous right now. Actually caused the greatest increase in the federal debt in U.S. history. In fact, Willie just said $8 trillion in 4 years. That is more debt piled up in Donald Trump's terms with all of these self-righteous Republicans than were piled up in the first, 220 years of this republic.
They're counting on people not remembering, being too busy, and not holding them accountable. I mean, they just take a position that serves them at the moment.